Hey everyone, welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. I am Mark with a sometimes normal voice, and that's Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Yeah, I sometimes normal voice here too.
Right, but at least you don't sound like Kermit the Frog half the time.
There's some benefits to Kermit the Frog.
Uh, dude, we love A24.
You do.
Generally.
Well, yeah. I love that they exist, and
Yeah.
I love some of their films a lot.
Yeah.
And then there were some that I look at and say, okay, well, no one else would have made this except for
And sometimes you
A24.
look at it and go, nobody else would have made this. Why did they?
Yeah, why did they do it? Okay, I don't know.
Speaking of, A24 has a movie hitting theaters this Friday.
Yes.
Starring Paul Rudd and Kate Mara
and what?
Tim Robinson.
Yes, who I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Okay. So this movie is called Friendship, and it is about adult men finding and keeping friends.
Sort of.
Well, that's the idea behind it. Man, I got to tell you what. I don't think either of us were in the minority from the group that left the screening last night. Amongst from our other critic colleagues. And that my majority opinion seems to be that this movie just doesn't work. And that might be the nicest way we can put it. That this movie doesn't work.
Yeah. One thing, Val, who was a friend of the program, made a really good point in that this is a film about the person that we hope we aren't. Like in any situation, you hope you aren't that guy. And I think that's absolutely true. She went on to say, but sometimes we are. And I would like to think that, no, I am never this guy.
Right.
To the extent that this guy is. This is I was concerned about, I don't know, 2 minutes in. And I was like, I just don't think I'm going to get this, or I just don't think, that this is my thing. And it's rare that you get that sense so quickly in a film.
Let's kind of define those first 2 minutes. Those first 2 minutes take place at a cancer survivor support group.
Yes.
Where Tim Robinson, who plays Craig, his wife, Tammy, played by the always lovely and talented Kate Mara.
Yes.
He survived cancer.
Yes.
And he is there. And, does anyone want to speak? Tammy makes some comments and Craig chimes in.
Yes. And
that 2 minutes is enough to kind of tell you all about those two people.
Yes. And yeah. And the film to a certain extent, because of some of the, I guess I'm guessing. I mean, this is going to sound weird. I'm thinking a lot of the awkwardness is supposed to be funny. Now,
and awkward can be funny.
But when it's coming from a character that is so, I don't know what the word is for this guy. It's self-consumed to a certain degree.
I used one in my notes.
Okay, what word did you use for this guy?
I wrote down that there are a lot of Craigs in this world.
Yes.
Craig is a beta male that desperately wants to be an alpha minus, at least. But he can't, because he doesn't have awkward moments. His life is an awkward moment.
Yeah, and there is a running theme throughout the film, and I'm not giving anything away with this, about the fact that he does not listen. That he is the sort of person who sort of hears and sees the world in the way he wants to, whether or not that it's true. And and that is kind of the going theme throughout this is he, because I don't think they're trying to play him on the spectrum or anything like
No,
that, but he is definitely an individual who does not have any sort of understanding of social cues
no,
whatsoever.
no,
None.
no. And so he is encouraged by Tammy to, he has to deliver a package to their new neighbor because it was delivered incorrectly to their house, which happens all the time.
In this film, in this film, all the time, all the
All
time.
the time. So his neighbor, Austin, played by Paul Rudd, who strikes me as very much being a continuation of his Anchorman character.
Well, yes, he is. He is a weather. Well, yeah, I
He's
guess
a
I could.
weatherman,
I hadn't really thought about that, but you're not far wrong.
but he's got that Anchorman hair. He's got
Yes,
the Anchorman stash.
yes,
He's got the Anchorman attitude. He's very as Craig sees him, and so therefore as we see him for a lot of the film, he's kind of very carefree. He is hey, let's have a beer. Hey, let's go
yeah,
have an adventure. And
yeah,
they go through the sewers.
yeah,
You know, that's the kind of person that Austin is. And Craig desperately wants to be that cool. To have, guys over and they'll sit around and shoot the shit and
yeah. Because
sing.
because he wants to be the guy that hosts the party. Yeah. First of all, he wants to be invited, of course.
Yes.
But even more so, he wants to be the guy that everyone looks at and says, "Okay, what we doing? What's
Yeah.
going on? What's the plan?"
Yep. And then of course it doesn't help, as cool as Austin already is, from his general demeanor and the fact that he's on television, he is in a band.
Yeah. Yes.
So, the cool just keeps stacking up for poor Craig. And Craig, for a little bit, God bless his little heart, manages to not be Craig. But that can't last long. And it doesn't. And so there's a falling out. And Craig can't handle that.
No, and he can't even comprehend it.
No, what I wrote down for that was like the absence of friendships generates an incapacity to accept the end of a friendship. And that's what happens to Craig. He didn't have any friends. And then he had one. And then he couldn't fathom not having that anymore.
Yes. And this is a man who was happy to get an office so he didn't have to worry about what he eats.
Right. He could eat whatever he wanted and no one was looking at him.
Yeah.
But this is also the guy that bought all his clothes at a restaurant, apparently, or a place that also sold food.
Yes. Or
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't yeah. Anyway.
So their relation, Craig and Austin's relationship, devolves as you think it might. Craig and Tammy's relationship devolves in ways that you might not expect.
Well, it's one of those things that from the very beginning, my question is, how in the hell did these people get together?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Like, seriously, how did this, of all the things, and how did this happen? But anyway, yeah. And I thought that after the very first scene, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it's like, how did they get here?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. This movie plays out in both reality and fantasy.
Yes. Mostly reality.
Mostly reality. And they tell you which parts are the fantasy because you watch them and you go, there's no way. And then they show you what's actually happening. And you're like, yeah, sure. That's correct. There is no way. I wanted to equate this. This is like a more accessible, and I use that term loosely, more accessible Beau is Afraid.
To a certain extent, sure. Sure,
Um,
I could. Yes.
it is a guy so uncomfortable in the world that he 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 changes it in his head. Now, Beau is Afraid is to an extreme, never before witnessed on celluloid and hopefully never again.
Well, yeah.
But this one is just, it's kind of, it's so sad and so pathetic and so consistent that it would be relatable if there was any break in it at all. But there's none.
Well, and yeah,
it is relentless.
Yeah. Well, and here's actually, and I hadn't thought about this. Let's compare this to the Song of Wallace Island. Because
Ballad of Wallace Island, sure.
Where you have a character that is so awkward, undeniably awkward, yet that movie is able to make that character someone you actually care about.
Because he is awkward outwardly, not for his own benefit.
Yes.
Whereas Craig is just awkward for himself. He's not trying to be awkward. He's trying to do things for himself and is awkward in doing so.
Yeah.
So he's not awkwardly helping his wife in the kitchen.
No.
Or anything like that. He's just, how can I get this thing? How can I reach this thing that I want? And then do it badly.
Well, and yes. And there's some running things through the film, and there is a moment where he makes a decision that makes you think, okay, it's a bit late, but maybe he's finally figured something out. Which, of course, he hasn't. And it goes even further off the rails than I think at any other. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, it goes completely off the rails very quickly.
Yeah, and it was never really on the rails very well.
No, but there was that thought.
There was a hope,
that
maybe. And again, if he'd have come around in any sense,
yes,
the movie might have been redeemed. But the movie's as irredeemable as he is, and that's it. So yeah, I think we all just kind of walked out going, "Why?"
I don't. And the thing is I don't even think I'd like the film if he redeems himself.
No, it's pretty.
And I think it's one of those films that fundamentally, I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's enjoyable. I don't, but at the same time, I'm not going to say that it was poorly made because I don't know that that's true.
No, but
it's,
if it's possible, it's actively boring.
Yes.
And that is, I don't know how you manage that.
Yeah, I mean,
actively boring.
And it's only about 100 minutes.
Yeah.
And it certainly felt a lot longer than that. which is interesting because the night before, and it's a film you'll see in the future, I saw a film that was nearly 3 hours. And it felt maybe like, I'm not going to say it didn't. It felt a bit long, but it felt nowhere near as long.
Right.
Like the between the two, if you had to ask, I would say, oh yeah, that one was like 2 hours, and that one was probably 2 hours too. And well, guess what? One was nearly 3, and one was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's and it's not like Paul Rudd's bad in it or anyone's particularly bad in it.
He's actually fairly restrained for most of the movie.
Yeah. It just, I guess it just doesn't work.
No,
for me.
It doesn't. Yeah. And the weak link is Tim Robinson.
Yes. But, and the question is this his stick? Is this his, his shtick? Is this what he does? And if this is what he does, and there are people who like that, then maybe they'll like this movie.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
but I just couldn't. I couldn't get into it. Like I said, a couple minutes in, and then I was like, no, no, no. Maybe. I mean, I like enough people in this. That maybe this is maybe it's me, and it can be. You sometimes go into a movie and you're just not in the right place for that movie, and you kind of let the movie, you grow on you a little bit, I guess, and then you realize, okay, you know what? Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
The awkwardness in the beginning, that was me.
Nope.
But yeah, oh, geez.
Not good. Not enjoyable at all. I wish I had gone and seen the other one
Yes, I wish you had as well.
and skipped this one. If I'd have felt better, I would have reversed the two.
Yeah.
But I did not feel better, so I will see it next week. So yeah, so friendship, not very friendly to the audience.
No,
Uh,
and I just, I wish I could. Yeah, it was what a failure at concept.
so here, wait, what is this? I need to see this. There's a quote on the poster.
Mm.
And I the quote says the funniest thing I've seen in my entire life, and I didn't see an attribution. It's in teeny tiny letters underneath it, and it says GQ.
Mm.
And GQ needs to get out more. If this is the funniest thing I've seen in my entire life, you need to get out. You need a life. Whoever wrote that over at GQ, because that's.
I mean, if you think oblivious awkwardness, I don't, gosh, it's just hard because he's so self-consumed.
Yeah.
Is the problem, and not self-aware, I guess. I don't know.
It's inexplicably bad, is what it is. It's inexplicably bad. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. So let's not talk about it anymore.
All right, let's not.
So so Friendship A24 in theaters May 16th. That would be this Friday. Written and directed by Andrew DeYoung, who's done some TV work that I saw real quick. Our Flag Means Death, which I know a lot of people love. That show, I don't know. I got nothing for this one. So don't forget to like us and follow us on social media. Go to the website, vsmoviepodcast.com. We've got links to all of our stuff, all the written stuff, all the audio stuff, and links to the social medias. Let us know what you think. Share us with your friends. That good stuff. Yeah. Go see a good movie in theaters. There are good movies. We both agree this is not one of them.
Yeah, it's not my taste.
Yeah. I don't know. If it's yours, great. If you're a Paul Rudd completist, maybe. But other than that, yeah, no. So there you go. Till we talk to you again, be good. Stay safe. I am Mark. That is Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
See you, friends.
And we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.